Great day, everybody. Hello, beautiful people. How are you? Give everybody a chance to come in. Not yet, TP. Time didn't pass yet. You were a little bit early. Okie dokie. Great day, everybody. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, TP. First one to join us today. You were so early, you thought you was late. Thank you for joining us. Adminitir. Am I saying that correct? I'm sorry that Mr. Gary isn't here today. He is a man that loves to be behind the camera. But today he's actually traveling for work. So he is not joining us live today, unfortunately. Unless I know he said he would try to position himself. Maybe he can jump on. Hint, hint. Maybe he can jump on and thank you, Kay, and follow us. Please, if you have come into the room, he said he's here. Let me, he says he's here. Let me actually invite you. I'm going to invite Mr. Gary. Maybe he can pop in with us. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. I just sent him a live stream link. So he should be able to get in with us where he is. So today's topic is going to be, I think it's going to be really fruitful. And you guys always bring excellent conversation. You always let me know something new every week when we do this. And I really look forward to it. I hope this little, actually, because this is a little distracting. Hold on 1 second. Okay, hopefully there's not a glare. And can you guys hear me okay? Yay! He got his Joe, y'all. There you go, Adminitir. He's here. You get to see him. All right. That's awesome.
Such a weirdo.
I want to see my babe. But listen, if you're married to somebody and they don't make you light up when you see them, something's wrong. Austin, hi, high five. Oh man. So today we're going to be talking about business focus. I just want to kind of have a town hall discussion as we are going to embark on some really awesome things, getting ready to make strides towards this new adventure that we're on. Kind of, I guess, the next chapter. We were journeying to ZA, but now we're experiencing ZA. And as entrepreneurs, we most certainly are looking into those different areas where we will be able to manifest our talents and resources into the place that we now call home, which is beautiful South Africa. So you guys like notice that Mr. Gary has a different background. Where are you?
Arizona.
You don't sound happy.
Hmm?
You don't sound happy at all.
No, I'm okay. I haven't had my coffee yet.
Yeah, what time is it there?
8 o'clock.
8 a.m. Right. Oh gosh. Okay, so he's still half sleep. So Mr. Gary is going to tell us what he's there doing, preparation for some wonderful things. Since he's over there, I get to like forcefully make him talk because usually I kick him underneath of the desk. So, what are you up to while we give people a chance to come in?
I
Guys, please
am.
like and share the live, please, and thank you. And if you haven't, subscribe.
I am at our Phoenix property, trying to get it potentially.
Wait a minute, you blinked out. We couldn't hear you. Say it again.
That I'm at our Phoenix property, trying to sell it to get a potential buyer. Trying to get it together.
Yeah. Yeah, so like it's just like getting real, huh? To like really when you start releasing assets, especially in a place like the States where so many people has told us that they're looking to come to, um, we're releasing assets and looking to use that capital to, along with savings and things that we've kind of put aside from here to put into here.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts on that? People that say, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to leave the States and come here? Your mic's covered. So leave your mic covered.
They're getting tired of saying the same old things.
Like, oh yeah, you got your earpiece in. We can hear you better now. Is that better, guys?
Okay, that better.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
like what? Like what has really kind of rung true to you being there the last week almost, just the short amount of time you've been here? What's kind of felt different?
Say it again.
What's kind of felt different being there versus, being here for the last couple of months? What does it feel like being in the States?
Feels weird. It feels weird, honestly.
How? You have to give us examples.
Well, it's almost like the sense of not being home, if you will. Like it don't feel natural. It just feel like something forced. Like I come here, I got to deal with the looks of, like you don't belong here. I was driving down the area and people kept looking at me like, why are you here? What do you, you don't look the part, if you will, in this area.
Oh, so that feeling of because okay, so let me give a little bit of context. So the area we live in is a little bit more affluent. So I guess if you want to think of a Stanton, Bryanston-ish area in the States. But what we try to explain all the time to people that are here, um, why we would want to leave the States and come here when everyone else is kind of trying to get there is, even when you work, clearly he's sitting in a property that we own, we pay for, we pay taxes, we're still paying municipalities and security and Gardner, and we're still investing in that area. It's still going towards the schools, everything else. But here's the thing. He's there less than a week and already feeling like I don't belong, or people kind of looking like, you're in the area, but do you really belong here? And, people want to be politically correct, but you still feel it. You still feel it, just like it's palpable, and we feel the love from you guys, so open and welcoming and ready to embrace us and answer our questions. We lost him. He'll come back. We literally, we feel it. And so that is very, very tangible. If you guys see me looking to the left or the right, also we're live streaming for our Bigo audience. For those of you that have watched me announce that, it is Bigo Live. You can gladly download that app and contact us and reach out to us there. That is another platform that we use to connect and live stream, kind of like off the cuff things. You can kind of give bonus footage, if you will. You would look up the Bigo ID. I'm going to put it in the chat message. JourneyToZa, the same as the YouTube channel. That's a great way to connect with us. I don't know if I need to resend him this link. I'll do it again just in case. Give me 1 second, guys. Stream. So that is definitely a big deal, that you feel like just that quick. Hi, Queen, that you shouldn't be there. What's up? Is it Mogomatsi? Am I saying that right? Ramos Sobana. Good afternoon from the Northwest and South Africa. This will be the first time watching you live on YouTube, and I must say we love what you guys are doing. We love and appreciate you. We love and appreciate you. We love that here. Absolutely. So while we're waiting for Mr. Gary, what I really want to talk about, yes, he is in the States. What I want to talk about is business opportunity within South Africa for those that are in the diaspora. I just now showed you, hold on, hide. How do it says he's here. Eek. I don't know what happened. Let's see. That's a little weird. So you have to click the new link, I think, Mr. Gary, so that you can get back on, my love. Okay, I sent you a new link just in case. But one of the things that I've witnessed as we're making, it's a really big transition to release property, and especially when you know that you want to have things to give to your children, especially as Christians, we believe that you should leave a birthright, and there should be something that you're supposed to pass down on to your heirs. And so that even if they so choose to go back, or even I'm understanding one of our neighbors has a son, the mother is native South African, the father is American, and they have a son. And if he would like to keep his dual citizenship by the time he is 13, I believe, he must go back to the States and spend X amount of years there in the States in order to maintain that. So those are things that, as parents, as the elders of this nuclear family, I can't speak today, those things are quite important to still kind of have the forethought and the wisdom to navigate and plan for. And so as I've been looking at different things, watching different documentaries, stories, news, reporting, reading the paper, all sorts of things, it is incredibly clear that there are lots of opportunities for everyone really to come and prosper, and to seed into South Africa, but especially those within the diaspora to come and allow themselves to immerse in the culture and the marketplace. And so one of the things that I definitely wanted to be able to discuss is that notion of entrepreneurial revitalization and the things that the people of South Africa are saying, or at least as I speak to the community, what it is that's missing or what it is that should be brought to the community. And I'm interested to hear you guys, what you think. I wanted to have more of a town hall feel on this live stream. If you would like to chime in, please let me know. If you're comfortable, send me your email address in the chat box, and I will invite you as a presenter. Absolutely. Let's see. So one of the things that I have seen most is a lot of information in regards to IT companies. I think we talked about that in one of our previous streams about 2 weeks ago, with so many IT jobs being available. But what I was doing research on was how many of those IT companies are Black owned or primarily managed. This is an area that I have been researching. It's not my specific area of expertise, but because I'm kind of acting or positioning myself as a conduit of information, for those that are seeking, that are coming. Greetings, Bukoya. Is it Vuyokazi? Thank you so much for joining us, my love. I think that it's important to kind of be a ferocious consumer of knowledge about the country. And while I may not be an expert, as I'm seeking information, I most certainly will connect with others that have that information that some may ask for and that they're looking for. Hi, Will, how are you? One of the biggest things in regards to IT, understanding that it's such a multifaceted arena. There's different sectors of IT. There's the more hands-on building component, networking, all of those types of things. There's the troubleshooting, but then there's the administrative part that even though someone like me, whose background is in business administration and management and organizational leadership, you don't necessarily understand those technical pieces at a micro level and understanding how all of those things work. So that is an area that is booming in South Africa, and definitely lots of opportunity. The other thing that I've seen in terms of major growth, of course, is food. And I was looking at a video yesterday in regards to the farming and the notion of crowdfunding. I don't know if there's anyone in the community today that knows about that or that may watch later, but the idea of some of these more rural farmers, because we know that lots of things grow, they're grown organically, beautiful fruits and veggies. We just saw that on the video this week at Food Lovers Market. Lots of those things are locally sourced. But I saw one of the I think it was one of the comments on that video that said a lot of those things, unfortunately, are shipped out to Europe. I haven't had enough time to research that. I'd love to hear information on that if you're joining us and you can speak to that effect. But that those prime things are shipped out to abroad. And then there's kind of a supposedly, like, I guess, like a less subpar availability, if you will, but also that those farmers are kind of cut out of the mix. And in some areas, what happens is there's kind of a collective of investors that will invest in either stock, cattle, equipment, to allow more efficiency, if you will, in order to, in order to better facilitate the season of planting, to have a better harvest, to get to market faster, to have more hands and provide resources and jobs, if you will. And I thought that that was amazing, even for somebody, I absolutely don't know anything about farming, but I definitely love the whole idea of being able to grow, have living gardens. That's something that when you live in the States, when you're living in brick cities, you don't necessarily have the opportunity to do unless you live in an area with a lot of land, or the soil is still fertile, and you kind of have to put a lot of work into cultivating that. And I'm not saying ignorantly that that's not the case here. You're not just gonna plop, food down anywhere, but you do have such a magnitude of resources in raw and rich and organic nutrients from everything from the food industry on down to getting into health and beauty. And that is a major area that in just the short time that we've been here, we have seen areas for growth. So I'd like to kind of touch on that a little bit and ask the community, when it comes to what the more rural areas, where are most of the farmlands located? I'm assuming it's different, and depending on what area that you're in, but I want to do a little bit more research in those areas and understanding what exactly is going on. Am I lagging a little bit? It's okay. Exactly what is Mr. Gary not here though, right? He's doing his tech thing. That's why he never likes to be on the camera. Not on the live stream.
On both.
No, not those. This one.
Yes, you are a little.
Okay. Hopefully we're good. He's telling me that our network's a little shaky, but I think that we'll be okay. Please forgive us. We know how this fiber thing can be. Pusaleto said, let's see, don't read the local newspapers. They are the worst. Really? Why so?
How so?
Like, is it all of them? That's disheartening, because I love to read. So one of the ways that I try to become connected in the area that I want to know the local news, not just what's, live streaming, and see what's, what's being discussed. Is there any that are reputable? She may be on or not. I'll give her a chance to answer. But going back to the crowd farming and the areas of farming, I'm interested to know, especially going into times like we saw in the States. And I was really shocked when we saw, we literally left right in the last week of March, first week of April, when we went back to the States last year. And we had no idea that it was as bad as it was. We didn't know that there was it was a shortage of toilet paper. There was hardly any food.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy because we left South Africa. There was none of that. There was absolutely none of that. And mind you, it was so much going on politically. We were staying away from the news. We were enjoying the time we had here with our family, the children, each other. And we did not see any of that at all. It wasn't even we were out. I made it clear. We went to not just the tourist areas, but we went to local, stalls. There was none of that evidence of that going on in the West. So when I saw those shortages of food and things like that, I said, wow, what is it that's going on here to the point that a first world country so quickly was succumb to this that quickly. And so I was speaking to someone on last week, and the conversation was that where some things it may seem that the US is a little bit further ahead in terms of resources or economy or what have you, IT, all of those types of things, whatever you want to discuss. I think it is quite doable for South Africa to use the US as a case study, if you will, and look at areas of faultiness, if that's a word, in order to better infuse decision and movement here. I believe even in areas of like political climate, whereas, and some people may not like to hear that, but in some things, I believe that those of us in the diaspora maybe were not as, what do you call it? I don't want to say tenacious, but maybe we did not take our opportunity to be as bold with some of the movements that we made going into some of the political unrest. And that's just my opinion. What do you think, Mr. Gurry? Like, I don't want to say it where, to downplay those, because there are some phenomenal figures that have spearheaded, especially the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that within the country. But it almost feel like, and we haven't really touched into that part of ourselves yet, but actively being in the street, protesting, lending out, what's having children, both of us there at the same time. You understand? Oh, we lost. I think when he's getting a call, it's putting him out. But at any rate, that is something that it almost seemed like it was such a stronghold that if we went too far, what would this gonna mean? Almost like mutiny, if you will. And it was a fear. And that's something that is in the air that I don't see in South Africa. When the uprising happened with Clicks, with the Tresemme ad, I've spoken to that before. It was clear that if it wasn't handled swiftly, that there was going to be unrest. Now, let me be clear. I do not condone just ruthless violence. That's not something that I condone. But what I am speaking to, that it was clear that the people were not going to allow things to go but so far without it being held accountable. And at least in that area, in that regard. And that is something that I think that in both the tenacity of the people and moving forward with having things done in regards to progressive movement in areas where the country wants to see involvement, that most certainly is a plus for South Africa. And as you couple that with those in the diaspora that maybe do have understanding that can lend insight to what has already happened there and what is aligning with what is happening in South Africa, we can do great things. Let's see, we have a conversation going on again about, let's see, the newspapers. The better newspapers are written in native language. As for general reporting in this country, journalists are losing credibility. The only one person I read is, okay, Mail Guardian. Okay, I definitely will look into Mail Guardian. That's good to know. Thanks, for Celesto. Thank you. Time just to get the workplace paper inside. Oh, okay, good to know. Let's see, most of our provinces general local produce are, as far as I'm aware. Yes, so okay. So are you saying then the real Nano that the produce kind of comes from all over? Is it like what areas generally, like if somebody was watching this live stream later and they were trying to get an understanding, one, what things are sourced here? I know, there's amazing chocolates, there's dairy, of course there's the fruits and vegetables and produce, all of those sorts of things. But what about some other things that a person may not automatically know comes from South Africa? If they're interested into looking into that and being in this area, I know there's gluten-free products, of course, as we love to talk about in the culinary industry in the States, herbs or medicines basically is what they are, that you use for either medicinal purposes or for cooking. All of those are lucrative production within the country in their different respects throughout the different provinces. One of the things that I also was seeing on yesterday was in regards to exports of South African goods and how that is a great way to, let's see, did I get your message? I did not. Let's see if I see you here. That is I did, Mr. Gary. That is an awesome way to infuse foreign dollars into the country in order to help the country grow. I guess where my thought process is, as Mr. Gary and I are looking at the country and seeing not just what we think we would like to do, but what is needed within the country. There seems to be a lot of emphasis put on gaining American or European dollars to bring into the country. But that's okay. We understand because of the power of that, of those currencies. But one of the shortages that I believe is there is understanding on how that process works. So if someone is a local producer of a good and they are trying to operate at the capacity of even a fourth that of the larger companies, which if you look at just any of the periodicals that's out there, it's not so many of the Black community, South Africans, that are at least the faces of these projects. That is very much so an issue, because if you have companies like Kroger, big name brands, restaurants that are in the States, say for instance, what's one of them? With someone that could use something, I think it's called Rainforest Cafe, or anything, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's textiles, whether it's moisturizing and creams. Of course, I'm a Black woman right now in the States. Natural is best. There's a saying, if I can taste it, I want to be able to put it in my hair. You could go either way with that. Some people agree, some people don't. But there are beautiful natural resources and products that are here that people have never come across. I know there's something that's in the market. I can't remember who makes it. It's called vegetable ghee. Have you guys used that before? It's amazing to me. It is kind of like butter flavored, but the fact that we don't really like to eat a lot of animal products, and then of course you can use sunflower oil and things like that, but depending on what you're making, sometimes it just doesn't have the same taste. Whereas that, it's an amazing product. It's almost like the ghetto version in the States is lard, but it's not, and it's not as heavy. I know restaurants in the States that would love to have their hands on that. And it's like, they probably don't even know it exists. Maybe, I don't know. But if that is, and I believe it says on the packaging that it is locally produced, that's a product that is amazing in order to be shipped, especially via, ship freight over to the States, and to be utilized within the Western industry, because we already know they import lots of their things. It's not a lot of things that are produced in-house in the States and used in-house. So that's kind of where my process is, where my thought process is, and where I kind of wanted to go with this. I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping. Okay, that's because of the global reserve currency, but they're talking about an SDR that is more fair and balanced to every economy, an olive branch, so to speak, World Economic Reform or Forum. Yes, King, I agree. And as much as I agree with that, to kind of bring a balanced stage, do we really think that the powers that be is going to allow that to happen? That America would allow itself to be humbly brought down to the same level, if you will, as a place that our former president called countries as whole countries? I don't know. But I think it is amazingly progressive thinking, and that we're moving in the right place. But as I talked about earlier, it requires those with heart to not just talk about it, to be about it. And that's one of the reasons why I am taking the approach that I am, as well as my husband, to not just jump into things and just start doing. Let's be clear, even in our explanation of we have our own opinions. We have our own, observation of things as African Americans now living no longer in the diaspora, but in South Africa. We are expressing that newness. And that's something that if you're a native South African, you wouldn't necessarily see things that way. And if you don't share those conversations, share that information, you would maybe never know. Like, I didn't know. Like, I was very interested to know that. It was surprising to hear about apple pie. To me, it's like, you don't know what an apple pie is. My goodness. Like, do you know what you're missing? Like, we don't call pie what you guys call pie, like these pastries or kind of these, not crumpets, but these meaty vegetable or cheesy or what have you sauce type things. We do have something like called shepherd's pie, but even that's a little bit different. But what we call pie, like open faced, or even if you go really elaborate and you do the top layer, flaky crust, all of that jazz. Hello, welcome on Bigo, all of that type of stuff. We do, like cherry pie or apple pie, one of my favorites, sweet potato pie. You even do pumpkin pie, all of those type things. So that's totally worlds apart. And you would think as much as people travel back and forth that they would know about that. But you clearly don't. It's like, really, you don't put your eggs in the refrigerator. Whoa. You understand? So all of that is really a big eye opener when it comes to the world of understanding trade. It's Mr. Gary. 1 second. I think he's trying to get. Yes. Mr. Gary, I don't see you on for me to bring you on, my love. So again, it's not our wanting to literally just jump in and say, this is what the country needs. This is what we're going to do. We know it best. I think that's quite not only naive, but it's insulting, because we may have our understanding of how things are or what would be great to be here, but we have to really dig roots and understand the climate. Like, I don't know. Like, I think, I saw somebody that was on the same level with me, and he was like, I'd love to connect with you, Lisa. I want one of those crab cakes. But people here may not think crab cakes are good. Like, what is that? Why would I want to eat that? But then here, people love pop and the sour milk, Amasi. Is that how do I say it? I always say it wrong. My daughter tells me this all the time. Really funny story, real quick. So the first time that I had, don't laugh at me, y'all. The first time that I had the spoiled milk or the sour milk, right? I ran to the store because I'm used to seeing milk in certain type of containers with the handle. I literally grabbed it, ran out, put it in the fridge. Next day, time for the kids to have breakfast. So my daughter says, Mom, your son doesn't like the milk. Speak to the effect of my girls, right? Because none of them said anything. So they're like, your son didn't like the milk. And I'm like, what's wrong with the milk? And I'm thinking he's like, oh, because it's new, it tastes a little bit different, da da da. He didn't want to have it. So I'm like, you better eat that milk. But then something was like, let me pour some. So I go to pour it in the jar, in the cup, the glass, clunk, clunk, clunk. And I'm like, what is this? And I'm like floored, because I'm like, I know fresh, but I just bought this milk last night. I know it didn't spoil that fast. So I'm going on with the refrigerator. This has to go back. Something's wrong. So then I looked at the front, and then my daughter's like, well, Mom, it says something else. This doesn't say milk. And I'm like, well, what is it? So I call my friend, and I'm asking her, like, what is this? And she's like, oh, she says that's like to make pop or things with. And I'm like, pop, like P-O-P, like soda? Like, she said, no, P-A-P, pop. So, oh my God, I'll never forget it. Like, I never forget it. I tasted it. It was kind of sour to me, but I was like, oh my goodness, like really culture shock, right? Culture shock. I wish President Obama would be an essay in the near future. Really? Why? What about him do you think he would bring to South Africa? I say, so we export to Europe, also to other regions on the continent as well. We process canned goods too, peel cuts. I've seen that, baked beans, peas, buttered beans, canned fruit, also sunflower oil and canola oil. Canned fruit, okay. I'm pretty sure if I look back in the States, there's probably things there that I've seen all the time, but it comes from here and I don't know. The thing about the baked beans, one of the things, Americans like sweet stuff. So one of the things that's different for us is that you guys put tomato sauce in your baked beans, whereas Americans, they tend to like a sweet brown sugary based flavor. Now, and if you know somebody out there that's manufacturing baked beans and they can change it to more of a brown sugar, I don't want to say syrupy base, but it's more of a brown sugar base instead of the tomato sauce. That they would take that absolutely. Let's see. Limpopo is a producer of agricultural products, including oranges, mangoes, nectarines, liches. What's a pawpaw? I've not heard of that. Macadamia nuts, timber, tomatoes, maize, tea, bananas, and avocados. I've heard. I have to get to Limpopo. I have to. I definitely. Oh, I like your avatar, Catalico. My lies. I love it. Thank you. I have to. What is pawpaw? I don't know that. The top grade produce gets exported to Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Why is that? Is it just the way for the country to make money? Why is that? Is that I'm wondering if is that just something that's been culturally accepted, or that's crazy to me. All of it. They don't have a choice. We're entering the digital age, and the fourth IR and BRICS, which SA is a part of, is on the other side of the hedge. Plus, they can open up the tax roll from billions unbanked. Very true. Very true, King. King, what's your background in? You sound like somebody I'd love to have a conversation with. Let's see. So Limpopo is, oh, I already did that one, sorry. Oh, traveling, you're taking import-export courses this summer. Who are you doing it through? Let us know. Maybe I should get in on that. Traveling, that's awesome. KZN produces, okay, guys, you know I'm new here. What's KZN? No, let me know. KZN produces sugar cane. Don't know if they export sugar to Europe, though. Mpulanga and Limpopo, citrus, bananas, avos, you call avocados avos? Okay. Western Cape, citrus, grapes, pears, apples, GP. What is GP? Potatoes, cabbage, and lettuce. That's awesome information. See, I knew you guys would. Southerner here sounds like buttermilk. Traveling is. It's almost buttermilk, but it's a little chunky. It's a borderline between buttermilk and cottage cheese. My daughter drank it. Like, she just was drinking it. I can't. I'm not, I guess I'm not that South African yet. I'm a consistency girl, though. Like, oh, the chunkiness, I couldn't do it. Sounds heavy for your gut, Flora. Okay. We eat the sour milk with pop or porridge, add a bit of sugar as needed as well. Okay. Thank you, Pavi. Trice twice from Africa, but living in Cape Town, is on grape farming, and she is making wine down there. Is Trice twice are they a YouTuber? I mean, who is that? Living in Cape Town, is on grape farming. That's awesome. Wine is a really big industry in the U.S. Absolutely. Wine, absolutely. Oh, traveling sounds healthy for your gut, Flora. Okay. Think of Amasi as a oh yes, Amasi. Okay, right. It's a probiotic. So what is it good for? What health benefits does Amasi have? I can't get past the texture. Traveling. Yeah, everybody has different takes on Obama. Definitely. Everybody does. Baller is laughing. Welcome, Baller. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. If this is your first time, please let us know. We are a cute little knit community here. We love new faces and we want to welcome you. Please let us know in the chat. Also, this is a good time to let you guys know, if this is your first time, please like the broadcast. Please share and subscribe. If you would like to get in touch with us, we are still looking for tour guides. We have built out the first month. We're going into the next month of filming. Mr. Gary is diligently working on editing to begin releasing those, because we want to have them more in a series, back to back, if you will. But most certainly you can contact us through email, theelisagary, ELISAGARY @gmail.com, or you can connect with us through Instagram, which is the Elisa Gary as well. Molasses. What's that I'm seeing about molasses? Brown sugar or American palettes? Oh, okay. Yeah, very much so. Because, the tomato sauce base, that seems to be more of a European thing. You see that a lot, like with the English breakfast. No. Mm-mm. Oh, papaya. Got it. Okay, Papa, you taught me something. Yes, snaps. I love it. Thank you. Good morning, the Taylors. How are you? Welcome. Pawpaw in the southern U.S. is not the same as pawpaw elsewhere. Okay. How so? How's it distant? Belted railway because of the waterways. King, what are you referring to, honey? Elle, hi. I'm so late joining. I'll have to watch this later. I have a meeting in a few minutes. That's okay, love. We thank you for stopping in. We appreciate you. Buttermilk and tastes like buttermilk as well. Okay. So let's see what I want to talk about now. Because when I'm talking, it's hard to kind of like see all of your comments, but I hate waiting to the end to answer, because if you have to go, I can't respond to you. Let's see. Sibu says, so this will work. Traveling says, Sibu, this will work great for my Southern palate. I'll start buying essay cookbooks. I have one. I can't remember the gentleman's name. He's kind of really flamboyant with this this blonde hair that I've seen. I can't remember his name. He has a cookbook, but I'm looking for a really good a vegetarian South African cuisine book. I really like the soups and things like that. I do fish and things too, but I really am trying to gain back away from it. Now, here's one of the things that I'm interested in seeing. Also, great information in regards to the food industry and areas of business, especially if you want to use your connections or your Americanness to be able to bring, act as a agent and outsource produce and other things out of South Africa into the States. What I noticed with, I think when we did one of our videos, you guys asked us, why hadn't we done more meat when I went veggie shopping, when I went grocery shopping? And it's because I had stopped eating all meat about 2-3 years ago. And that was because I was noticing so many influxes in just my skin, my hormones, my weight. It was just all over the place. And there is a documentary called What the Health, as well as another one called Forks Over Knives, or Forks and Knives. You can see it on Netflix, actually, and talking about how the U.S. meat industry, as well as dairy and what have you, is run. And it's quite concerning. So imagine when I got here and I saw such a lush abundance of fruits and vegetables. I'll have to say that was one of the things that was really a big impact on us deciding if we would want to live here, because we have made that transition as a vegetarian family. Now, we don't force the children to eat strictly vegetarian. If we, thank you, KwaZulu Natal. KwaZulu Natal. Okay, got it. Thank you. I know that now. You taught me something. But in the States, it's almost like you have to buy everything organic, and you're paying 3 to 7, 10 times maybe more because it's considered organic when it's really just fresh, where it's not going to go bad immediately, when you get it home, because it's halfway rotting. So this is something that was a really big turn on. It was a thumbs up for us because the kids are having fresh veggies. Even down to the muffins. Like, I bought some banana muffins one day, and I think I bought them on Friday, and I was going to let them eat them with some yogurt or muesli or whatever on Sunday. And when I went to bite in it, I was like, oh no, we can't eat it, because they clearly had used fresh bananas in the mix. And you know how a banana starts to kind of turn itself? Yeah, it was off a bit. So absolutely. Mr. Gary, are you here? I wanted to ask a question really quick. Let me find it. Give me 1 second to find this. I don't think one of the things that I'm clearly looking forward to is the network, the increases in network. That's something that right there, I guess that more of a IT area or networking, what have you, that for some things to progress, that has to improve. That's nowhere near my area. I can't even begin to speak on it other than as a consumer. But the network issues, like, no, can't happen. Like, even now, like, literally, it can't happen. Like, literally, I have just a phone and this, and it's having an issue, which can be a great inhibitor for larger companies. Or I would even say, as American company, if an American businessman or woman is coming looking to do business in some of the things that are they're used to in the office space. I know one of the things that we would do in the state is, even though we were consumers, personal, we usually would get business internet. Maybe that's something that I need to look into. It's a little bit different here, because I literally, when we first got here, I was trying to have a different line put in. And the person from OpenServe told me that they had to run a line through somebody else's yard. And then nobody was there. So I needed to get in touch with my neighbor and find out when was a good time for them to come in to run that line. And I'm like, yo, like, is that what we do? The client, like, these are your lines. You need to have me go traipse. And literally, I still haven't seen those people there. So I have to have them, like, literally come and tell me when I can get in their yard. That didn't make sense. So maybe that's more of a customer service thing, but the network issues has to increase. I don't know. Is that more so an issue with the power grid, do you think? Thank you, the real no. Been in the market for 8 years, managing my own retirement since they took my 401k in 2008. I vowed to never let anyone control my destiny again. So I researched a lot. Best decision I made in my life. Absolutely, King. So, King, are you here? You're in SA, right? let's connect on Instagram, the Elisa Gary. Let's chat. I'd love to have you come on and discuss some things on one of the live streams. Oh, okay. Gauteng province. Got it. So guys, we're just at about 59 minutes. I have one or two more things I want to check, but I'm just going through this list. If you have a question or something that you want to ask, please go ahead and post it so that I can answer it before we're gone. See, a huge opportunity for African Americans in particular is the establishment of a soulful. Really? I'm so glad to hear that. Listen to me. This is what I want to ask you guys, because listen, the palette is so different. In the States, we do things a little bit different, how we season things, how we cook things, even down to like the soulful. And you know the restaurants, the carryouts, so KFC or what have you, Popeyes, like things are different. So in the States, it's like Southern rolls. If you ever visit the States, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you don't know what you're missing, child. It's like these buttery, flaky biscuits, not rolls. So if you think like a company like Pillsbury or what have you, places like Popeyes, even here, they just give you a roll. The first time I came here and they gave me a roll, and I was like, where's my biscuit with the honey and the butter? Like, no, I didn't even want it. I was like, I don't want it. Never mind. I didn't want it. The coleslaw, totally different taste, everything. So the thing about an idea of a soul food, or definitely barbecue chain, because Mr. Gary makes some barbecue sauce that, I mean, it needs to be in the bottom, because I've been tasting all different types of stuff, because he really makes, like, even we'll do like barbecue veggies. The sauce is bomb. Maybe I sound bad. I'm not the best person to say it because that's my husband, but you can ask other people. It's amazing. And I haven't found that yet here. So please, if you have a smoky, sweet, something type of barbecue sauce, a brand that you want us to try, please let me know, because I haven't found it. Have not found it yet. But my concern, I would love to open like a little, what do you call it? Like, not necessarily like chicken and waffles type thing, because that's a big Southern East Coast Black thing, but just some of like the American things, like the pies that we love, or like soul food, like mac and cheese, the way that we do it there. Like, that's something I'm never going to be able to give up. Or what we call stuffing in the States. And I just was wondering like how that would play over here. I actually considered trying to do maybe a little food truck or something like this to test it out, even especially if it's the American desserts. Like just literally calling it like American pie, because I love that here. Like, that would make my life so happy. Maybe I should do a tester event and just randomly choose some people that have commented and invite them to come for a Southern cooked meal, like crab cakes and things like that. And see how it plays over. Let you guys critique it and see what you think. What about grapes for cosmetics? Grapes for cosmetics. I'm sure, I mean, they use grapeseed oil and stuff, so probably. Pineapples, oranges, grapes, Eastern Cape. Okay. Twice is the YouTuber. Okay. I will make sure that I look that up. Actually, I'm going to make a note of that here. I don't think I can put the accent thing in there, but YouTuber, that's cute. When you ask why they import to certain regions. Oh, got you. Okay, thank you, King. Please make sure you contact me. Okay, JourneyToZa, I totally agree. You should not be impulsive, but do a thorough research as to understand what is actually the shortage. Agriculture will definitely require extensive research. Absolutely. Thank you. Baller, I've been here since day one. Love the channel. Joined at number 24. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Baller. Thank you. Pawpaw is like a custardy mango-like fruit in the U.S. It has a short season and can't really be shipped. It's perishable. Remember the pawpaw patch. Thanks for the cookbook suggestions. I appreciate it. Pawpaw in the States tastes like pawpaw anywhere. What I find different is how a U.S. orange juice tastes. Essay juice is nicer, tastes like real oranges. Yes, very much so. It's not as acidic, but it definitely has a rich taste. Yeah. Oh, you were number 24 subscriber. I thought that's what you meant, but I was like, I'm not sure. Wow. So you were like at our first videos, like wow. So you've definitely seen the community grow. When the channel did not have so many subscribers, welcome to South Africa one. Thank you so much, Baller. I appreciate you. Honorary member, Baller, Tishy, and everybody. Thanks for the helpful information. As always, I enjoyed watching you, Mr. Gary, giving us helpful tips. I appreciate you. Have sugar added to it. We are addicted to sugar as a region. I'm waiting for the day when we play with Americans any sport. What do you mean? Oh, wow. It says I'm not a big sports person. So are you saying South Africans? What? Okay, explain that to me. I'm interested to know. I don't understand. Elle said, I've stopped meats as well. I can't wait to eat more non-GMO meats in SA. And even here, what I noticed, what you guys might be interested to know is that lamb is not as readily available in the States. It's not necessarily that it's not fresh. It usually is. It's okay, but it's not as readily available. You usually have the huge beef or chicken sections, or even the chicken. I noticed after eating it, I would be incredibly puffy. If you look at that documentary, Forks Over Knives or What the Health, I'd be interested for you guys to come back and comment here and let me know what you think about that in regards to what you see here. I'm not saying that there's not places like that that are doing things like that here, but it's not good. It's not good at all. Thank you. Fish will do a body good, but what kind? Like I don't do tilapia, and I don't know. Maybe tilapia in the States has a bad name, but a lot of times it's fish farmed. I don't do tilapia. Oh, you in Chicago? Okay, I should see that little bit of a swag there in your picture, King. GP is in your car if you have it. Me, housing province. GP got it. Oh, so you're coming here, fourth quarter 2021 or 2022. Okay, okay. Welcome. Please make sure you connect with me. Where's the other two? Barbecue chicken and fish. Market to expats and visitors. Never has chicken and waffles until 5 years ago, and I'm a seller. Traveling, you're saying market to expats and visitors. But do you think they want to come and eat Southern food in South Africa? I don't know. You could try a pop-up shop. Yes, like gumbo. Now, I'm not a Louisiana girl, so I don't necessarily do like gumbo per se, but I know how to make a banging shrimp jambalaya or shrimp gumbo and an etouffee. And like I said, stuff like charbroiled oysters and crab cakes. Then you have salmon croquettes, stuff like po' boys, lobster rolls. That, ooh, my goodness. That is my alley. Food for life for the people. Please don't export life-killing stuff that already keep taking life among the people. Too much fat. Oh, are you talking about the vegetable ghee? I like the vegetable ghee though because it's something that's not something I've seen in the States ever. A vegan option if you wish to fry something. I've not seen a animal free product. Pound cake, yes. See, you know what I'm talking about. You know, but what I've seen is no is the flour is different. I literally was down to the science looking at the weights and the protein content in the flours. The flours are quite different. So even when I was trying to make my sweet potato pies, like they're different. And you can't use stuff like puff pastry. It doesn't work. Our South African brothers and sisters are certainly missing out on our Black American cooking. They won't ever go back. Oh man. Keep chewing them animals and your teeth gonna fall out. Oh my gosh. Listen, you and Mr. Gary would get along very well. Salmon, yes. Mahi mahi, okay. Grouper, you sound yes, soul food, please. Really, Sibo? He said, yes, soul food, please. Maybe we should do an event when we do a soul food, like a pop-up restaurant, invite some people to come and see what they think. As a tester, what do you guys say? You're so full of life, very inspirational. Thank you, Zari Action. I haven't seen you in a little bit. How you doing? It'll be a good idea to open a Southern style soul food restaurant in South Africa. Folks gonna be camping out for our food. Will, do you cook, honey? Come on over. We got to do some business. I'm excited about that, y'all. Thanksgiving is my favorite. And listen, if anybody out there, so this is my, every time I come, I have a call to action, something that I ask y'all. If you guys have any connections to the flower industry here, I'm looking for resources because that's something that I was actually looking, because I'm actually really known in the States for my sweet potato pies. Even when I was stationed in South Africa, people would literally, I was a private, and people would literally give me money to go to the market and buy stuff and cook. And as long as I could have some of whatever I cooked, I didn't have to buy food or anything, as long as I just cooked for them and gave it to them. So that was like my side hustle, even when I was like, what was I, 19, 20, straight out of high school, if you will. So I learned from my grandmother, Southern homemaker, her entire life. So that is something that brings me joy. I love to cook. I love to sup with others. And I would love to do something like that. I would love to do something like that. Okay, we are at 1:12, y'all. We made it. We absolutely made it. I am so excited that we got to have this conversation. So please, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I don't want to miss anybody. Let's see. Hi, everyone. I really love the Americans that come on this channel. They're so respectful. It's beautiful, but it's sad that you have to say that. There's so many people that are rude to our cousins here, but this is a place of love. We welcome you. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe the live stream, the channel. Flower industry, you mean as in consumable powder flour, or like things that grow? Oh, I mean like consumable powder flour. So like, to make dough. So to make dough. So in the States, we have what's called all-purpose flour. So what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is connect with one of my friends that has his master's in culinary arts in the States, and give him, like, I was literally in the market for hours. Mr. Gary was looking at me frosting at the eyes because I was doing research, looking at the backs of the packages and buying all this different flour because I needed to make the consistency of the dough. So I did get one specific kind of recipe, if you will, that made it really close and made it pliable. I think it may need a little bit more of something, because once I can do that, the feeling is there. Like I've already was able to find. Now that's the question. So what do you guys call, there's the different sweet potato pies, the sweet potatoes. So there's the lighter ones or the purple ones, and then there's the ones that look orange. I know what we call those in the States, but what do you all call those? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know if I can find it, but if you've been in the States, you would know what I mean. It's like it looks orange. It does. It's not the purple looking ones. They look like this. Hold on. Can you see that? They look like that. Kind of an orangish hue, if you will. That's what I need to know what they call those here. Yes to the soul food. And for those of us outside of Joe Boy, current frozen options, and we can order from you. Okay, y'all. We might have something going at Noni, but let's see. Is that your, oh, okay, got it. Hi. Oh, I know that's right. Look, they kiss it in the comments, y'all. It's time to go. We eat struggle food. South Africans are not picky. I would have to ask a white friend the names of the type of pumpkin pies. Not the pumpkin ones, but the potatoes. The sweet potatoes is the ones that I'm looking for. You call them just yams, Cassandra. They're all sweet potatoes. Ours are predominantly white on the inside, but I've seen the orange ones. Yeah, the orange ones are the ones that we use. The orange ones, king. The orange ones are the ones you use. You can follow up on Twice interview with the Real South Africa on YouTube, where she talks about her wine business in detail. Great. Okie dokie, guys. Y'all a mess. At Live and Wisdom Struggle Food, but yeah, I know what you mean. On that note, guys, it's been real. Thank you so much. Again, let me explain a little bit more about the Bigo app. So if you've never heard of Bigo, I'll actually show it looks like. I'm saying B-I-G-O when I'm saying Bigo. B-I-G-O. So Bigo is actually a social networking app. It looks like this. Wait a minute. Can you see? This light is not helping at all. This one here. It looks like that. It looks like a little person. Bigo, B-I-G-O Live. It's a free app. You can download it on Android or Apple devices. And when you log on to make your free profile, you would find me under the Bigo ID JourneyToZa, no spaces. That's a good place for you guys to come on and chat with me. I actually will go on live immediately after this showcase. So if you'd like to come on and chat a little bit and speak kind of one-on-one, I'll make a panel. You can come right on in the room and come on up and have a discussion, and we can chat a little bit more there. Until next time, family, thank you so much. I am the Elisa Gary, and it was such a pleasure to do life with you today. See you later.